All right, all right,
All right.
all right. Jake, I gotta ask you. Let's talk about your boys. What's going on with the Steelers? Are they 12 or 11-1?
While y'all were talking, I was watching the game and my heart just sunk.
No.
They are now 11-1. They just lost to Washington football team.
Wow.
What?
Wow.
Oh
Wow.
no!
Yeah,
Wow.
with about 2 minutes to go, Washington kicked a field goal to put the score up 20-17.
Mm-hmm.
Big Ben gets the ball back to get his little 2-minute warning drive going. First pass, intercepted.
No!
Oh, yeah. So Washington gets the ball back and they get another field goal. So then it's 23-17. Ben gets the ball back with like 25 seconds to go, completes a pass. They stop it. Game. Perfect record. Bye.
Oh man!
And that was the only interception he threw all game. Was the one where he needed it to win.
Wow.
And he goes and throws the ball away.
Wow.
Oh
And
well.
to get beat by a team, as Stephen A. Smith would say, in the NFC least division. But hey, Jake, I will say this. We actually talked about this in the office. This could be a good thing for the Steelers. Because if you remember back when the Patriots went through their undefeated season, I won $40 on the Super Bowl. And my premise was, if they had lost a game during the season, Belichick would have tightened the screws so tight they wouldn't have lost that Super Bowl. But because they went undefeated, maybe he didn't tighten the screws as tight as he could. Therefore, they lost. So now we know how good of a coach you guys got up there. In fact, I'd love to have him down here. Now you got that loss by the Football Washington club. Yeah, the screws are going to get tightened. It could be a good thing for you.
I think you might be right. Next practice, when the team gets together, oof.
Mm-hmm. And he's an old school, hard-nosed coach, which is why I would love to have him in Carolina.
Yeah, it's not going to be pretty.
Yeah, I think Mike Tomlin is going to really he's going to have to pull it with the team. You know what I'm saying? And you never know. He might even be relieved that that's out the way. I know in the back of every coach's mind, they want that perfect season. But now all that pressure is off. Mm-hmm. It's already done. Mm-hmm. You all good. And they go back to playing some football. But I am going to say this, though. Look, yes, they are 11-0. But some of the teams that they should have smashed, though, dude, they was like, it wasn't. I'm not surprised that Washington beat them, because a lot of the teams that they shouldn't have struggled with, they were struggling with on a 11-0 pathway. And I'm not tripping on, and I'm not taking away anything, but it's like, y'all remember when the Patriots did it, they were smashing people when they went that way. Yeah. Right. And then, not even tooting their own horn, but even when the Panthers did it, but this is how come they could not go 16-0. They was smashing people, but then they was almost winning by a field goal and whatever too. You know what I'm saying? And so you can't, to me, if you're going to have a perfect season, it's because you smash. That was it. The closest team that got to you was 14 points. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Then you're going to smash through. But if you skipping by 3 points and you just barely getting it.
Hey, Jake, the one game that surprised me, and I'm sure you got surprised by this, is when they got beat by Baltimore. Because Lamar Jackson wasn't there, and because so many of their players had tested positive, they had scrubs on the field.
Yeah.
That one surprised me. That they lost, almost got beat by the Ravens, and they shouldn't have. Like Brian said, they should have blew them out, especially with what they had on the field.
Yeah, they were playing second, third, fourth string guys.
Yeah.
And it was that close.
Yeah.
And it's it makes you wonder if for this Washington game, if Washington had enough time to watch the tapes of what the Steelers have been doing and the mistakes they've been making and capitalizing on it.
Maybe
Yeah,
that was
We're getting so
And,
close to Super Bowl time.
a riverboat run.
But
Yeah.
yeah, that's what I'm saying too. People forget it's not like Ron Rivera's a bad coach. He got stuck with something, like I said, a lot of people don't know. This dude was a first-year coach and got Cam Newton as his first quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
They grew together. So, like, he didn't know how to use him because Cam didn't even know how to use himself.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, like, so people kind of remember the up and down thing about Coach Ron, but remember too, though, them defenses that he put together, they were dope.
Mm-hmm.
And they beat people legit. So
of course, he played defense, so he's got to do that.
He's a defensive-minded coach. So I mean, for Washington to win, that don't surprise me. Plus, he knows how to get them hyped when they know so much is on the line. They have first place in line with the Giants.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
And my second team, the Cowgirls, they're not going anywhere. And really, to be honest, I don't like Jerry Jones, so I'm kind of happy they losing. I'd be happy when Jerry Jones is gone. I'm terribly upset because this is my bad side.
It's all good. It's all good. All right, so
Buccaneers?
the Bucks.
Yeah.
Okay, look, check this out. Here's what I think is going to happen for next year. All right, so if Cam Newton, which I really think he is, because look, Belichick's now come up with a scheme that fits around Cam with no receivers.
Mm-hmm.
This is what I want. This is why I'm mad at New England Patriots fans, because they don't deserve Cam Newton. Because I'm mad at them right now because Bill Belichick has now decided to come up with a way to beat teams where it's 90% running because his quarterback can run like that and throw. This dude's coming up with some pretty crazy stuff. And then next season, if they actually give that dude a line plus some receivers, oh my goodness, dude. Like, he now knows how to beat your team if he decides not to throw it. And then when he gets actual weapons for Cam to throw too, he going to be able to beat you because his quarterback got an arm. That's not fair. And if they sign him next season, you can almost guarantee that Tom Brady, if he's still playing at the Bucs, is going to have to go to Foxborough and play against the Patriots when it's cold. And I bet Cam Newton is going to find his butt right back down here at Bank of America Stadium playing the Panthers at the beginning of the season.
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm. You know it too.
I see that exactly happening because this season, I don't care what nobody says. You can do the whole Bill Belichick, Tom Brady / Cam Newton, Carolina Panther, NFC South story drama means a hillbilly worth of things because everybody has a legitimate excuse. With COVID-19, lost practices, can't get into a system, can't get into a rhythm, can't get with your team. Can't nobody say, okay, Bill Belichick is that coach because his team did this, or Tom Brady's that dude because their team did that, because it ain't all even. This don't start till next year.
Hey, Jake, were you a New England fan?
I am not. New England.
Okay. All right. So the reason why I asked that is I'm going to kind of go back a little bit to the starting of all this. And B and I talked about this before. I kind of liken Tom Brady and Belichick almost like Shaq and Kobe back in the day.
Yeah.
They won championships together, but they wanted to prove they could win championships apart. Shaq won his in Miami, and then Kobe won a couple without him. I'm thinking that, and a lot of people didn't think that Brady was going to move. I knew he was going to move because he's done everything he can do in New England. He wanted to prove it wasn't just about the system, it wasn't just about Belichick, that he could win somewhere else. And he found that he could win somewhere else. Now, Belichick wants to prove the same thing and say, well, I didn't just win just because I had Tom Brady. So just like B was saying, I think it's going to be a scenario where those teams go play each other, and also their overall records, they're always going to be compared to each other. So I think when Tom made the announcement he was going to the BUCS, I was like, that's going to be a good decision because, as you know, being a BUCS fan, y'all had a squad for past 2-3 seasons, but Winston kept throwing it to the wrong team.
Right? Like our receivers down here in Tampa, we have such a stacked receiver line. It just Winston could never hit any of them.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, are you colorblind?
Mm-hmm.
Do you forget what your own team looks like?
Mm-hmm.
Because his passes weren't even close. Like, it's like, okay, you got Mike Evans here, and then you got the opposing team's defender here, and the ball's going to end up over here.
Yeah, true.
It was
But
terrible.
You guys are doing good, though. I mean, I'm happy to see Brady doing well because I want this to have him prove that myth too. Would hate to have someone win as many Super Bowls as he did and have it look like it was all up to the system and the coach. So I'm happy to see Tom Brady doing good down there, even though they're in the NFC South and one of the Panthers' biggest rivals. I'm happy with him doing good down there.
Yeah, it's definitely a nice change. You should see the attendance at some of these games now that we're starting to allow fans back here.
Mm-hmm.
Like before the Bucks game, they would be, I don't know, maybe half capacity at most.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's like, since they're limited capacity, they're like selling out to the capacity they are allowing in. And it's like, we've never seen that before. And on a side note, I drove by Tom Brady's new house, saw it in person with my own 2 eyes. Whoo!
And just think that's one of many. So, Jake, what do you think of Arians? Do you think he should go, or you think Tom's going to not deal with him anymore and go?
That's a tough one. I really don't know.
Because on one side, him calling Tom Brady out a couple of times, I could see that being kind of a good thing, saying it doesn't matter if you were considered the greatest quarterback of all time. If you mess up, you're getting called out. But now it's almost like it's too much. He's calling Tom out too much.
Yeah, I could see him getting really annoyed with that. Like you said, maybe once or twice just to kind of check him back into reality. But now it's just like almost like he's hazing him.
Mm-hmm.
So I could see that getting ugly if it keeps up.
Yeah, because you got to think, I mean, in reality, Tom only has, maybe 2 more seasons in him?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, do you start with another coach, even though Tom's not going to have too many more seasons in him? Or do you just say, look, Arians, you got to stop this? I mean, what do they do?
I feel like they need to sit down and talk it out man to man and just figure out what they're going to do instead of just bickering at each other.
Yeah.
That's going to be the only way because, in the back of Tom's head, he's thinking, oh, boy, I got to listen to this again.
Mm-hmm.
And he's going to be more afraid to mess up, which in turn is going to make him mess up.
Mm-hmm.
So they need to clear that air, whatever they got going on there, and just continue on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm agreeing. I think the whole public thing, is a problem. And I know everybody wants to try to do their coaching their own way, but in a way, everybody wants to bite off of Bill Belichick. And I'm not saying Arians is biting off this dude like that. I'm not even gonna call him out like that. But rumor had it that that's how Belichick talked to Brady behind closed doors.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe this dude figures because of who he is, he needs to do it not behind closed doors.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the truth of the matter is, if talking to Tom Brady behind closed doors motivated him to be great out front, then if you want to continue, you should probably have those conversations like y'all are saying behind closed doors, because that was the winning formula, not in front of the media.
Right.
Well, I mean, like Jake said, I think 1 or 2 times was fine in front of the public. That's fine. After that, behind the scenes, because the BUCS organization is different. Their players down there are different. So they don't want it to seem like there's a tiered setup to where Tom Brady's up here, everybody else is below him. So to do it 1 or 2 times, Brady's on the same level. He's just as accountable as you are. But after 1 or 2 times, just like you said, B, you got to then take it behind the scenes.
Right. And not only that, Brady and Belichick had such a long-lasting relationship. It gets to be expected after a while, where Brady and Arians' relationship is brand new and he's acting like this year 1.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's almost like you're trying to be the best friend. And it's like, I don't even know you, bro.
Yeah. Day one.
Yeah.
I agree. And I also understand where coaches don't want a diva mentality on the team. That makes sense. I understand diva mentality. But you also got to realize, too, you are dealing with superstars. You have a quarterback that no other quarterback has done what he has done before. He deserves a little bit of a level of respect, dude. I mean, like, period. This dude, when you over here looking at Tom Brady, you like, oh, man, you know, like, you messing up. Yeah, some of the interceptions he may mess up with, but see, he might have had those kind of interceptions in New England, but see, Edelman and Gronk and all of that, when they was together after being a couple of years, you know, made up for that. So it wasn't that big a deal. You talking about Arians expecting he's going to have the New England Patriots just because he has Brady back. This dude does not have an Edelman running in the slot. This dude just got Gronk back, and Gronk's been out the game for like 2 years. He ain't even back in football shape completely, and they couldn't have no practice. It's a brand new organization. This dude has brand new receivers. Even though Mike Evans and Chris Godwin is really good receivers, they're still not elite receivers yet. They're getting there. This is their first year with a quarterback that can hold them accountable for not being where they need to be at. See, they could screw up with Jameis. What they gonna say? What's Winston gonna say to him?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But counterpoint back to what I was saying about Winston, they would be elite receivers if Winston could have gotten the ball on a regular basis. At that point, it would have become part of their culture. But because it hasn't been a part of their culture, to your point, they're not on the same level as the receivers that Brady has had in the past.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
And to no fault of their own either, because it's like you can only deal with what you're dealt.
Yes.
Exactly. That's what I say, even with that's why I think Arians is a complete idiot for calling out Tom Brady out in public, because you look like an idiot because, dude, as fans, we realize that Tom Brady is not working with the elite kind of talent that he had in New England.
Well, ESPN is calling him out. I mean, past couple times he's made these shout outs against Brady. A lot of the ESPN commentators are saying the same thing. They're like, bro, what are you doing?